Hello, it's Maryon Stewart, and I'm focusing on menopause and muddled messages today because there just seems to be so many of them. I Menopause has been in the news this week, and I can't help feeling so sorry for people who are receiving these muddled messages because menopause already creates mayhem for so many millions of women in all sorts of countries around the world. And there doesn't seem to be much help available in terms of sorting out the messages. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to try and bring a bit of clarity. So this week alone in the media, there's been reports in journals that have been published that the American Task Force for Prevention has come out or is planning to come out in their draft against women taking HRT in the long term. Plenty of other experts are saying that they've got the research wrong, and that obviously doesn't help. In my new book, Beat Menopause the Natural Way, I have a chapter on the truth about the menopause, which is a review on all the world literature about HRT, which I did in conjunction with two really serious world-class experts on the subject. And in my group, Natural Menopause, Making the Midlife Switch, which I've provided you with a link under this film, you can go, and in the files in the group, I've put chapter 4 in there so that you can read it and you can find out about the different sorts of HRT, because there's so many of them. You can't just talk about them as if it's one substance. There's just so many different types. Some of them have been found to be helpful, some of them have been found to be harmful, and different kinds of treatment helps different kinds of women. My experience is using the non-drug approach, which I've been using for over 25 years, with women, successfully helping them to overcome their symptoms. So again, in the media this week, there's been a study published about hearing loss with long-term use of HRT. There's been another study published to say that lack of estrogen can cause periodontal disease in menopause women and women past the menopause. And another study showing that you can reduce the chances of going into an early menopause if you consume dairy products that are rich in calcium and vitamin D. So there's lots of really serious statements there in that research, but not a great deal of understanding about what it all means. And in fact, even if, for example, low levels of estrogen are associated with periodontal disease, you don't have to take hormone replacement therapy to get the naturally occurring estrogen circulating around your body, which mimics estrogen that you had previously prior to the menopause, so that you can fool the brain into thinking you've got normal circulating estrogen again. So you can protect your gums naturally if you know how to do it. And in terms of actually feeling that you need to consume lots of dairy products in order to get your calcium and vitamin D, well, there are other things that contain calcium and vitamin D, and even soya milk, which is rich in naturally occurring estrogen, is fortified and has the same amount of calcium and vitamin D as dairy products. So there are different ways of doing it. We found with our research over the years that very often women have got low levels of important nutrients, things like calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, essential fatty acids, vitamin D, and all of those things will affect our hormone function. They affect the ability of the brain chemistry to send out the right messages at the right time. And so learning to meet your needs, getting yourself back into really good nutritional shape, making sure your nutrients are in an optimum range, and taking naturally occurring estrogen into your diet can make an enormous amount of difference. So I'm interpreting the research in the group. I'm providing lots of self-help tips for women so that they don't need to go on suffering at the time of the menopause. So come on over to the group and join us and find out how you can get through this life phase, whether you're going through the perimenopause early, whether you're in the menopause, whether symptoms have been going on for years and you're postmenopausal and you need some help. There's lots and lots of information that can help you. We found at the Natural Health Advisory Service, where we pioneered our program over 25 years ago, we found that over 90% of women are symptom-free within 5 months using a really natural approach, which is all scientifically based. So come and find out about it. You don't need to go on suffering. And I really look forward to being part of your recovery journey.